I'm so excited today because I get to play with one of my favorite people on the planet, Miss Kim Oneill. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Susan. Thank
Oh
you for having me.
my God. I'm so happy you agreed to play with me. I'm so excited. Before we start, I'm just going to read your bio to give our audience a little peek into who you are.
Okay.
Okay, so Kim Oneill is a former crime analyst who now provides empowerment and interview confidence coaching for heart-centered professionals. She's the host of Every Day is a New Day show and is the best-selling co-author of the Positive Minded People book. Her second book, You Are Loved, an inspired meditative visual journey, is anticipated to be out spring of 2019. As an inspirational speaker, Kim reminds audiences the importance of knowing who they are, about the informational value of their emotions, and how to move forward when they don't know how. Kim wants to liberate the world and encourage people to know it's okay to be more of who they've always been. That only scratches the surface of who you are. So welcome. Where to start? Oh my goodness. So
Here we are again.
I know we get to play together all the time, and I love it. How blessed are we, right?
Yes.
So when I'm reading your bio, even though I know you, it still seems funny to me that you are a crime analyst. Do you want to, yeah, do you want to, how did you
talk about that? Yeah.
How did you become a crime analyst, and how does it serve you for what you do now?
That's a great question. So I manifested it. That's how I became a crime analyst. But, you know, I will add that I still include that in my bio because I think that we are all so very diverse, and it's really hard to capture any one of us into just a simple paragraph. And I just want to highlight, you know, the diversity within me that really is a reflection of the diversity within every person. Every person has gifts and strengths and talents, and some that they may already know about and share with the world, and some they may not, and some maybe they, you know, are still going to be discovering somewhere down the road. But I think it's really important to acknowledge the diversity of who we are and how awesome each person really is, because when we close off a part of ourselves, we start to dim our light. We start to forget who we are. And part of my message is really to support people in knowing who they are. So that's why I still include that. But yeah.
So being a crime analyst, right, it helps you pay attention to the details. So when you're with a client, you're fully 100% present, and you're able to see things within them that might need to just be shifted or just a little off, right? You want to just, how does that serve you in serving your clients?
You know, it's just so interesting. Those things about ourselves that we may know, and I mean, it's kind of what I was just saying a moment ago, you know, those things that we may know about ourselves and yet completely gloss over. And so therefore we essentially forget them, even though we kind of know it. And it's awesome to be in a session with someone and really just shine a light on, oh, well, you've got this thing going on, right? Or, well, you're really good at, you know, at this thing you just described to me. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, she's right. Right. And so I'm not telling them anything that they don't already know, but I'm helping them to see themselves more clearly. And it makes such a world of difference in boosting someone's confidence when they really get to see themselves and how amazing they already are.
Oh my God, I love that. Right. So because we all have gifts, we all have wisdom, we all have knowledge, but sometimes we take it for granted.
Yeah.
And we don't really pay attention. We're like, oh, we think everybody knows that or does that or whatever. So that's pretty incredible. So I want to point out that we've been connected for a couple of years now. You were the first person to interview me. So this confident woman that you see in front of you, Kim was instrumental in helping me with my confidence to be on camera, to interview, to really love and accept all parts of me, even those parts that I didn't feel at the time when you first interviewed me were lovable, right? Does that make sense?
Oh, we're lovable. Susan, you are so lovable. I know you know that. Yeah. It makes total sense. It's a world of difference from our very first meeting to today. You've got this flourishing group program supporting coaches in building their business and, of course, growing their confidence. And it's been awesome to see that grow, but also get to be a part of it throughout the journey so far.
Oh my God. So Kim is the confidence coach for my private group. And like, seriously, I could not have had the results with my clients that I have without you helping them with their confidence. It's been so amazing where I can just focus on the business and you focus on the confidence. And I want to give a shout out to Jason Richardson as well, because he's our mind, body, spirit coach. He's amazing. So we have this little academy, right, that helps brand new coaches bring their gifts to the world. And thank you so much for what you do for them. I know the impact you've had on them because they've expressed it to me, and you know the results are just speaking to themselves. So how do you, you know, this was not a role that you signed up for. I said, please, 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 please do this. Right? Because
I love it though, Susan. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So you're so good at it, and you know you. Like in one of your calls, if you don't mind me
Sure.
sharing,
Yeah.
like in one of your calls you did with my clients was that you had them celebrate each other. And I was listening, no, I don't show up to the calls. You do your thing with the client, but I listen to the replay and I'm like sobbing. It was so beautiful to see, you know, see all the coaches support each other and you know, and what they had to say about each other. And you just have this way of always connecting them back to who they really are. And I know that's your core message.
It really is. I really believe that it's all from the inside out. And it's one thing to know that, but it's really key to practice that and experience what that means for the individual. And I think that although we can relate to each other's experiences, it's also going to be a very unique experience for each person. And so to be in a group where we can have that experience together and yet know that however our experience might be a little different, know that we're still supported and know that we're still accepted for who we are and how we show up. I just think it's such a beautiful gift. So you provide the container for that. And I love being able to facilitate those moments. It's really fun. We do a combination of that inner energy work, but also, you know, we do the practical stuff and talk about how's that showing up on the outside. And, you know, we have a good time. I love it.
Yeah. And I know that you've seen like really amazing results from some of the coaches. And it's just been, I love that I can just do my thing and, you know, I can just do my thing. And, you know, when they're getting down on themselves or feeling low on themselves or don't think that they can do it, that you're there for them. And it really does make a difference. I think we make a great team. I am excited to say that Kim's going to continue coaching my my coaches as we move forward. And you know, if you're smart, you might want to reach out to Kim and have her do your clients too. Just saying, just putting it out there.
Oh, I love it. Susan, I seriously, I love, and I've told the coaches in your program, I love it. So it's a blessing. It's a gift. And, yeah, our sessions, we go really deep, and it's, it's awesome. Where are you? Are you going to sign up?
Yeah, this is awesome. So aside from, helping the coaches with their confidence, you also have a show called Every Day is a New Day. And that's the show that Kim interviewed me on. And so talk about your show and what's going on there.
Thank you. Yes. So I've been hosting a show for 3.5 years now, and it's evolved over time, and I'm right at the brink of relaunching again. So I have inspiring conversations with movers and shakers about moving forward and choosing to embrace a positive outlook. And it's really fun. It's really fun to be able to connect with a variety of different people, hear their story, hear what they've learned from their journey, because we can all learn from other people and what they've experienced, but then also be able to really highlight, the positive that's come out of that, those growth moments, the lessons learned. Not all life is going to be hunky-dory, and yet we can get back to that place when we choose to learn from our experiences. And I think that's really the beauty and the gift from the show, because the feedback that I've had from people is that they do feel more hopeful and more inspired to, continue on with their journey and whatever they're experiencing. And that's my intention for the show, is for people to know that they're not alone, that however unique their life journey may be, that it still comes right back to, okay, what am I going to choose, to experience from this? What can I learn? And how can I start to see how this actually supports the next phase of my life? And so I love the show. I love my guests, and we're going to be connecting. I'm going to be on iTunes again moving forward, but also sticking with the live show on Facebook. So I'm really excited because I just started scheduling my 2019 guests, and the energy is getting going. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope to be a guest. Because I love playing with you.
You are, so you will.
I'm sorry, I just scheduled myself as a guest on the show. Do it.
That was awesome. It's totally fine. Actually, okay, can we use this as a moment, though, for me to give some feedback, some tips? Okay, so for anyone who's looking to get booked on other podcasts, so let me just acknowledge that Susan and I have not only a working relationship, but also a friendship. So we've developed this relationship over time where it's totally okay that she said that to me. And it works, right? And if I had an issue with having her on the show, then I could come back and tell her, well, whatever, right? We would communicate that.
Yeah.
If you are just starting out, though, and looking to connect with podcast hosts and get booked on shows, I would not recommend, hey, book me. You do want to develop a relationship. And so what I mean by don't just come out and say, hey, book me, is I don't mean don't contact the person and tell them you're interested. Absolutely. Contact the person and let them know you're interested. But be mindful of, do they have certain requirements or guidelines for getting booked on their show? What instructions have they already put out there? And this really applies to podcast interviews, as well as, of course, if you are going for a job interview. You always want to follow the instructions given. You never want to make it more work on the host. So find out what shows resonate with you and what you do, and reach out to them by all means. But make sure that you've also done some of that research to find out, what are they looking for in a guest, or what's their protocol, right? What works best for them, and then go from there. So that's just a starting tip I just wanted to put out there for anyone getting going, and I hope that was helpful.
And don't approach them if you haven't even watched their show.
Yes.
That's a huge, I know that I've talked to some podcasters, and one of the biggest things they said was like they didn't even watch my show, and they're just using this template
Oh
to,
gosh.
so there's no personal, you want to connect on a personal level to that show host. So maybe say, I watch your show and this is how it impacted me.
Yes. That's a fantastic tip. I even do that on the reverse flip side, right? So if there's someone that I would really love to have on my show, I do the same thing. I don't just say, hey, you should be on my show. I say,
you're big and you have a large audience.
yeah, that's not that's not going to really gel with someone. They want to know that you care. They want to know that you're paying attention to who they are. So you do want to include that into the messaging that you send to them, and it goes both ways.
Yeah. And the interview, in my opinion, falls flat when there's no connection between the host and the guest. You can it's just awkward, I think, but I pick up on stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think you're amazing. I love your show. Now I want to talk about your Positive Minded People book, because you are a co-author of that book, and I want to tie it into your show because this book was done with several authors, and it was really about overcoming. Well, you tell them what it's about.
Sure. So it was about overcoming adversity. And so it's this book right here, this blue one, Positive Minded People, Inspiring Stories of Overcoming Adversity for Living a More Positive Life. And in this book, there were 9 of us who shared. We each have a chapter in the book where we shared a story from our life of how we overcame adversity. And I'm so grateful that I did that. If you've been thinking about writing a book or even just a chapter in a book, it's incredibly therapeutic, just the process of writing out your story. But, I shared in that story a situation that happened about 10 years ago where a relationship ended, and it was devastating for me, but there were so many layers to it. And I really think that's how life is. We have one thing happen in our life, but it's never usually about just that one thing. There are other things that contribute and factor and lead up to that moment. And, and that goes right back to the every day is a new day, because when things erupt, when, there's this buildup of things that don't feel like they're going in our favor, and we feel like we have a meltdown or a breakdown, it can feel like we are ripped of all of who we are. It can feel like we are, our support system and everything we know about ourselves and the world and life in general are stripped away. And while that may be the experience of what's happening, it's very devastating. It also provides us that very fresh, fertile ground from which to start fresh from. And if we can be mindful of that, and I know it can be incredibly hard, but just to know that that's actually a fantastic starting place to launch into the next thing and to learn from everything, then it actually helps us to be able to create something beautiful and move forward into being more of who we are. And I say that lately, and I know it may not fully make sense to a lot of people, but I really think that underneath whatever we've got going on, we know who we are, and life ends up becoming this playground of getting to learn and experience and know more of who we are until we just finally can be that effortlessly.
Yeah, I love that. Be you unapologetically, right? Just because there are certain parts of ourselves that we hide away, right? And so to be able to step into our own truth and be who we are fully, it's just life-changing. Now, I bring this up because there were some stories in that book. I mean, I recommend the book. It's amazing. And these stories of what these authors have overcome was just incredible, right? Incredible. And so you interviewed all the authors and you did them, I mean, because it was like a sensitive sensitive to go that deep with somebody and that personal with somebody, but you handled it with such grace and love and power that I just want to acknowledge that. Like, your show really gives the platform to people to really, to share who they are and to really, overcome the adversity and really allow themselves to be seen fully in the light. I just love that. I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I look at other podcasts and I used to not, and I've learned, that would be helpful.
Right. Not to copy, but to just see what's working.
And in fact, that's why I didn't look for so long, because I didn't want mine to be like, I wasn't trying to craft mine after anybody else's. I wanted my show to be my show. But at some point I realized, okay, actually, wait a second. Let me just kind of take a look to see what else is happening. And I realized a lot of other people's shows, they talk more about doing things and, and tips and steps to like physically, actively doing things. And that's fantastic. And my show does some of that as well. But really what's unique about my show is I really want to get to know the person behind all that doing, who's underneath all of that, because that's what people connect to, so I love to connect with my guests, and I love when my guests can connect to the audience, and I love when it's an experience for all of us in that nutshell of a show. So thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm really excited too, because you have a new book coming out in just like a couple of months, hopefully May, right? So this book is absolutely magic. Like, literally, this book makes you feel. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes. So the book, and you know what? The book is like 2 arms lengths from me right now.
You want to get it? And it's okay.
I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna stretch and get the book. Yes. So here is the next book.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
An inspired meditative visual journey, original Florida Keys images by Liz Acar, and written meditation by me. And this book, this truly was an inspiration, how this came through. It's got, I keep saying I need to recount. It's got approximately 40 amazing, stunning images by Liz Acar, all original photos of the Florida Keys, and specifically, mostly Key West. But then we paired it up with a written meditation that I wrote, and it's something you have to experience. I call it meditation done differently. A lot of us are visual learners, and a lot of people struggle who are just learning how to meditate, just getting into that practice. A lot of people struggle with being able to meditate when they first start off. I know for me, 10 plus years ago, I started and then just completely stopped because it wasn't working until I had the breakdown moment that I wrote in this book. I started back up again to, okay, how can I do this? How does this work? And then it started to click a little more that time. But so for anyone that's just starting out, this book is a fantastic way to have that visual experience, see the words, but also be connected to that heart space, connected to who you are as a person. And you just walk yourself through the book, allowing yourself to connect and regain that inner peace. It's a beautiful experience. I love it. And I'm so glad that you mentioned it, Susan, because it is very exciting, and I'm excited for this book to come out.
I am so excited to receive this book. And immediately when I see even the cover, right? When I see the cover, it just draws you in. It really just draws you in. And the meditation that you did is just so beautiful. So how did that meditation come to you?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So it's interesting. Liz and I had been talking about collaborating on something for a while, and then all of a sudden there was this one day where I got an email from a website with the coupon on something, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, we could do a book with her photos and I write a meditation. And we just kind of put it out there and we started playing with it. So what happened initially is, she gathered a bunch of her favorite photos. And then I took a look at them and looked to see, okay, how can we make a story out of this? How can this flow? What's the story that wants to be told by what I'm seeing here? So I really had to take a look at like, okay, what photos go where? And what's the wording, the meditation that emerges from this? So to me, it was really important to have the pictures in a certain order and to flow from one to the next. And we did a lot of tweaking. It's, doing any book is a whole journey in itself. So there were, things.
Well, I love that, right? Because you would think that you would do the meditation first and then add the photos. That's the magic, right? Because you use the photos to inspire the meditation. That's why this book is literally magic. It just really is.
It's so important to me to have the flow, Susan. To me, it wasn't going to be good enough to just say, okay, here's this, and now let's slap these two things together. It had to be melded. There needed to be a flow to it, because the intention we put in anything is the experience the next person's going to have of it. So thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I cannot wait to have the physical book in my hand, and I know that I'm going to keep it right next to my bed so I can just read it every night. I just know it because you can feel the energy of the book, the words I've only seen a couple of pages, people. And this is like the response that I'm feeling about this book. It truly is, it's moving, and it really does connect you to your own heart.
How about, why don't I show a couple of photos?
Okay.
A couple pages.
I won't tell.
Okay. So the very first page, take a moment and breathe. And then it's a big book. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I love her photos. Breathe in this moment. Oh my God, everybody. Can you feel that? If you can feel that, put a comment under this video. Unbelievable.
There's so many. Yeah. So I'm not going to share anymore, but
I love, like, it's just a few words on the page, but it just allows you to breathe in the visual and breathe in the words, right?
Absolutely. Meant to be a very personal experience for the reader. You can have this, if you wanted to make this be a coffee table book so for your guests to be able to experience, or if you wanted to take this with you, put it in your briefcase as you go throughout your busy workday.
I would give that as a gift to anyone that, that is soulful, right?
Fantastic idea. Yes, for a gift as well, for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna share a link so anybody that wants to be, notified when this magical book arrives into the physical.
I trust that it will happen in divine timing. We really want to put out a quality product, not something that's just rushed to finally get it out there, because that's not, that's going to alter that impact, that experience that people have when they read it. So
yeah, I love it. I'm so excited for it. And so will you autograph my coffee, please?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to put a link so that you guys can get notified by Kim on when the book does become available. And I think that you guys are going to do a pre-order, right? Probably next month. We have an upcoming summit that I'm really, really excited about.
I know. It's your second summit.
It is, and you were in my first.
I know. It's awesome.
Okay, so people, don't gloss over this because this is no ordinary summit, okay? There's no pre-recordings and we email them to you. None of that. We go live, we interact. It is an experience. People are going to have the experience of you as a facilitator, as a coach, as a leader. And I'm just so excited. Last time, do you want to just share like the energy of the last time we did the summit? It's the second annual, people. I'm so excited.
So it truly is a very unique summit experience, and it was phenomenal. I think the numbers were something like 73% or, somewhere like around three
It was
quarters.
92%.
Okay, well, look at that. Okay, so many people like stayed for the entire thing. It was a 6-hour event. And they stayed for the entire thing. And I don't blame them. I was there, of course, for the entire thing. And of course, I was part of it. But I also get why they stayed, because it was the momentum and the energy. It was fun. It was playful. It was interesting. You got to learn from all the different speakers. It was really awesome. And if you're looking for an environment that has that expansive, supportive, love-filled tribe feel, then this is the event that provides that. And so I'm excited really to see, how this year unfolds. I know it's going to be even bigger and better. And
Yeah, I'm just so excited because the response I got from last time was like, I had things to do, but I just couldn't walk away from it. It was just so awesome. And originally, when I talked about doing a summit with my group, it was going to be the typical, right? That I interview you, we record it, and then email it to people. But I knew that people needed to have the experience of you, right? And it made all the difference. It was a love fest, and we gave away gifts and prizes, and it was interactive, and the energy, it was so weird, people, like seriously. The energy kept flowing in the Facebook group that we set up for the registrants for months. For months afterwards, people were excited, and I had 40% more people sign up for the summit after the summit because people were talking about it. People were talking about it and telling their friends about it. So people were signing up to get the replay, the 6-hour replay. I couldn't believe it. So this year I have more speakers. I'm the host. I'm the host with the most. And everybody knows that I love to play. So it's a very fun experience. But we have 11 speakers this year. I'm super excited, and we have you and confidence and sound healers and business coaches, and it's just amazing. I mean, I'm truly blessed. Like sometimes I think that my angels just lay out this path for me every single day because and I know that the people that are drawn to me are so amazing. Like these are really amazing coaches. I cannot say enough. They are incredible facilitators, healers, coaches, and they so care about how they express into the world, and they so care about their clients.
So my talk is titled Soar into Spring by Letting Go of the Fall. And it's really about, there are two different ways we can raise our vibration. It's to either deliberately amplify your vibration, or it's also to release what's been weighing us down. And so that's just in a nutshell what I'm going to be talking about how to confidently release what's in your way so you really can catapult yourself forward. And what a fantastic opportunity to do it here in your summit. I'm excited. So
Oh my God, I'm so excited. So I released a lot of junk in my trunk. That's why I vibe up here.
and I did too.
Yeah.
The last year and a half, oh my goodness. And it's interesting too, when you release one thing, all of a sudden your eyes can become open to other things you didn't even realize you were carrying or hanging on
Yeah.
to. So then it's like, oh, there's these things too. Okay, let's get rid of this.
Oh my God. So yeah, just so much going on. 2018 was a phenomenal year, and I'm loving the energy of 2019. I'm so excited of what is happening as we expand into all that we came here to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we breathe in the moment. Yeah. If you are looking to gain more confidence, Kim is your girl. I've seen the results in every single coach in my private group that has worked with Kim. They're totally like unbelievable. They're all completely ready to step on the stage at the summit. And I'm just really so grateful that you agreed to play with us. Yeah.
Thank you, Susan. And for those who are thinking, well, I've got so much going on, maybe you've got a lot of junk in your trunk, and so to speak, and you're thinking it's not as easy to get to that place of feeling confident. I just want to say that that's the simple way of really highlighting one of the end results of what my clients receive when we work together. But a lot of it is that inner journey of looking to see what's in the way and being able to clear that out, to heal and release things so that you can see yourself more clearly. I really think that's all it is. Like, you are amazing. Here's where you might be today. Here's like your awesome fullest potential. And there just might be this layer or this film of not being able to see it clearly because some other things have gotten in the way. So I help you break through that, clear that out, and move forward into being more of who you are. So
Yeah, so Kim has this beautiful way to really tap in to see what's going on. And then she really does, I think this is your crime analyst persona, right? Where you can really see what is in the way and help them heal that or shift that or release that so that it is gone forever and that they can move on. I mean, you are so intuitively in tune to, even as a group, because everybody needs different things, but intuitively, you just knew where you needed to take them in every coaching session that you have done with the group. I cannot even imagine what you're able to accomplish individuals, right? It's amazing. So how I'm going to put all your links, your website and the links, and I'm going to put the link to the summit too. So save the date, March 2nd. March 2nd, people. Save the date. Join us just for registering. You get all sorts of goodies and there's prizes and all sorts of cool stuff. So how can people reach out to you and just what can they expect by working with you? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So I would say two things. There's a lot of ways they can connect with me. Two key ways are go to my website, kimoneillcoaching.com, and they can schedule a free strategy session. And I like to say that these sessions are fun because they're fun. because when you finally are saying yes to yourself and exploring the avenues of moving forward, it feels amazing. It feels freeing. You feel these doors open up and the fun flows in. So you're doing this inner work that's going to unravel some things, and yet you feel like the excitement of where you're headed. So that's why I say that. So they can schedule a free strategy session there. They can also connect with me on Facebook at Kim Oneill Coaching. And the page is called Every Day is a New Day Show and Coaching. And Oneill is Oneill.
Beautiful. And I'm gonna put all your links up so people can connect. You know, if you have any confidence issues, or or you need clarity on which direction to go, connect with Kim. Do yourself a favor. She is so amazing. I have 11 coaches as proof. And yeah,
Thanks,
do
Susan.
yourself the favor and give yourself the gift of working with Kim. And I get to play with you all the time. I'm just so blessed. So I am so grateful to you. And I hope you know that. I tell her that all the time. But sometimes I'm like, do you really understand?
She does it back to me. So what we do in the group call, she does it back to me, and I'm appreciative of it. So thank you, Susan.
Yeah. So, okay. So to everyone listening, you are amazing. You are whole, perfect, and complete. And nothing is wrong and nothing needs to be fixed. It's just sometimes there's things that you may not even be aware of that are blocking you from living your ultimate life. So get a coach. Get a coach. It is the fastest and easiest way to make a difference, to achieve whatever it is that you desire. And you deserve everything this beautiful life has to offer. So with that said, have a fabulous day.